and welcome back to our fifth adjectives lesson. Today we are talking about superlative rules. Aujourd'hui, on va parler des règles pour comment utiliser le superlatif.
Comparative and superlative, here it goes. Okay. Superlative shows which one is the most. Comparative compares, it doesn't mean one is best. It just shows how it's different from the rest. Comparative and superlative, here it goes. Superlative shows which one is the most. Comparative compares, it doesn't mean one is best. It just shows how it's different from the rest. A noun is a person, place, or thing, and you can describe nouns with adjectives. Adjectives are called comparative when they help compare one thing to another thing. For example, Gina is taller than Chris, and her hair is longer than his. Superlatives show which one is the most. In a group of three or more, one is getting the award. My red car is the fastest in the front. Your blue car is the slowest. Hurry up. Last night the movie was the funniest I've ever seen. Out of all of us, I'm the hungriest. I need to eat. When we compare, we use then. That's THAN. Different than then. That's THEN. When you use superlative adjectives, usually it's with the. For example, this candy's the sweetest you will ever eat. Comparative and superlative, here it goes. Superlative shows which one is the most. Comparative compares, it doesn't mean one is best. It just shows how it's different from the rest.
Okay, rule number 1. For most adjectives, add est. Slow, the slowest. Fast, the fastest. Small, the smallest. Tall, the tallest. Sultan Kozan, the world's tallest man at 8 feet 3 inches, came to London to be introduced to Chandra Bahadur Danji, who stands at just 1 foot 9.5 inches. When the pair were done posing for pictures and shaking hands, they sat down for a little cup of tea. Or maybe it was a big cup. Strong, the strongest. Weak, the weakest. Cold, the coldest. Young, the youngest. Old, the oldest. Long, the longest.
The other day, I really don't know why. One day this guy encouraged me because I had let them grow maybe 3 inches, and he encouraged me to grow them longer.
All right, the longest fingernails in the world. Rule number 2. For CVC words, double the last consonant, then add est.
Tall, taller, the tallest. Small, smaller, the smallest. You already know about the comparative form of adjectives. Adjectives in the superlative form express the highest degree of certain quality. We make the superlative form of one-syllable adjectives by adding the suffix est and the definite article that before the adjective, the shortest. If the adjective has a short vowel, we must double the consonant, add the suffix est and the definite article that.
Hot, the hottest. Red, the reddest. Big, the biggest.
This plant is big. This plant is bigger. This plant is the biggest.
Wet, the wettest. sad, the saddest. Rule number 3. For words that end in Y, change the Y to an I, then add est.
Who is the happiest? Cholo is the happiest. Who is the craziest? Jose is the craziest.
Okay, happy. The happiest. So the Y is changed to an I. Crazy with a Y, fou. The craziest. So the Y is changed to an I. Stinky. The stinkiest.
Superlatives are formed the same way as comparatives, but we use est instead of er, and most instead of more. Take a look at these examples. This cheese is stinky. This cheese is stinkier. This cheese is the stinkiest. Whew.
Dirty, the dirtiest. Heavy, the heaviest. So he's an expert in the carnival act of bee bearding. So he is going to wear bees. He has the heaviest mantle of bees. He used 60 queen bees to attract as many bees as possible to the mantle.
È davvero a dir poco incredibile. Eccolo, lui ora ha sul corpo 29 kg di api, quindi io vi ricordo che questi...
There you go. Heaviest mantle of bees. Rule number 4. The words that end in E, you remove the E, then add est, or simply add est. So you have a short adjective ending in E, you can just add st, large, the largest, huge, the hugest, cute, the cutest, strange, the strangest, wise, the wisest, rude, the rudest, gentle, the gentlest. Nice, the nicest. Safe, the safest. Close, the closest. Close, closer, closest. Close, closer, closest. Close, closer, closest. Close, closer, closest. Large, the largest. Welcome to Miniatur Wunderland. Holder of the Guinness World Records title for largest model train. It's 15 kilometers of train track. Okay, goodbye les cinquièmes, au revoir les cinquièmes. And quatrième, we are talking about the manatee today.
Snooty, who is the oldest captive-born manatee. Snooty turned 67 years old last year, and he's been with the museum since June of 1949. He was born in Miami in July of 1948, so he came here when he was only 11 months old, and he is now Manatee County's mascot. We felt it was important to apply on Snooty's behalf because we wanted people to understand that manatees can live for a long time, and that, you know, taking proper care, paying attention to their habitats, that those things can help with their longevity.
Okay, the oldest manatee. The manatee is not related to other marine animals. Ça veut dire les animaux qui habitent dans la mer, or dans l'océan. Their closest living relative is the elephant. Alors, ils sont le plus proche aux éléphants. Meet the manatee. Manatees spend half, la moitié, of their day resting and the other half eating and swimming. They are intelligent and they have a good long-term memory, like their closest relative, the elephant. Manatees move their tails up and down to swim through the water. Manatees move their long tails up and down to propel themselves through the water. They swim at about 8 kilometers per hour, but they can accelerate to 15 kilometers per hour if necessary. They are graceful swimmers. Legend says that sailors used to think they were mermaids. So this is graceful. Graceful. Sailor. Mermaid. Sirène. Mermaid. So let's read that again. Manatees move their long tails up and down to propel themselves through the water. They swim at about 8 kilometers per hour, but they can accelerate to 15 kilometers per hour if necessary. They are graceful swimmers. Legend says that sailors used to think they were mermaids. All right. Goodbye, quatrième année. Au revoir, les quatrièmes.
Did you ever make anything happen? Anything you couldn't explain? You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what? Dear Mr. Potter, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
In a few moments, you will pass through these doors and join your classmates.
Keep an eye on the staircases. They like to change.
Good afternoon, class. Welcome to your first flying lesson. Stick your right hand over the broom and say up. Up! Wow. Mr. Longbottom! Mr. Longbottom! Mr. Longbottom, exactly where do you think you're going?
Do you really have the scar? Wicked.
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity. First years should note that the dark forest is strictly forbidden, that no magic's to be used between the classes and the corridors.
Petrificus totalis.
The third floor corridor is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to suffer a most painful death.
Throw in the dungeon! Understand this, Harry, because it's very important. Not all wizards are good.
I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed. Or worse, expelled.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
I think it is clear that we can expect great things from you.
Okay, grade 3s. We are still talking about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And you've watched the trailer. The next thing we're talking about are the towers. So,
which Hogwarts tower is the tallest?
Ready? Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Astronomy.
The astronomy tower.
The answer is the Astronomy Tower.
alright, so the tallest tower at Hogwarts is the Astronomy Tower. If you want to do the Hogwarts Castle quiz, head on over to thewizardingworld.com and do their quiz. So this is the top of the Astronomy Tower.
Then put it on. Whoa! My body's gone. I know what that is. That's an invisibility cloak. I'm invisible. It's really rare. I wonder who gave it to you.
There was no name. It just said, use it well.
Alright, so we've got the adjective invisible and invisibility cloak. Tartan. That's this sort of a pattern on the material. So Professor McGonagall often has a tartan pattern on her clothing. So a tartan is typically associated with the Scottish. Tartan. And we also have the word rubbish in this text today. So rubbish is another word for garbage. Now typically in Canada we like to say garbage. In the United States they say trash, and in Britain they like to say rubbish, but they all mean the same thing, sans déchet. Alright, and this is a steep spiral staircase. And that is dancing a jig. Alright, you're ready for the text now. Nearly there, Harry panted as they reached the corridor beneath the tallest tower. Then a sudden movement ahead of them made them almost drop the crate. Forgetting that they were already invisible, they shrank into the shadows, staring at the dark outlines of two people grappling with each other 10 feet away. A lamp flared. Professor McGonagall, in a tartan dressing gown and a hairnet, had Malfoy by the ear. "Detention!" she shouted, "and 20 points from Slytherin. Wandering around in the middle of the night, how dare you?" You don't understand, Professor. Harry Potter's coming. He's got a dragon." "What utter rubbish! How dare you tell such lies? Come on, I shall see Professor Snape about you, Malfoy." The steep spiral staircase up to the top of the tower seemed the easiest thing in the world after that. Not until they'd stepped out into the cold night air did they throw off the cloak, glad to be able to breathe properly again. Hermione did a sort of jig. Alright, so we have the tallest, which is superlative, invisible, dark, middle, utter, such, steep, spiral, the easiest, again superlative, cold. There we go.
Goodbye. 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 Enjoy yourself. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Bye. Well, goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
And that was the longest goodbye. Goodbye.